Okay, welcome everyone for taking time out of your busy summer plans to come today. Um, I wanted to, oh, I forgot the American flag, but we can pretend. Um, I want to just start the meeting now. It is 7:05 p.m. We can all stand, find an American flag somewhere. I knew I forgot something.
There's one.
Yeah, there you go. I pledge allegiance to
Allegiance
the
to the
flag
flag,
of the United States of
United States of
America
America,
and to the republic for
republic
which it
for which it
stands, one
stands,
nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
it's just right on the top of my head the whole time. Never leave home
And
without.
and Ray, are you okay to start taking notes? Is it your turn or Karen's turn?
Ray, you're muted, and I don't just mean your color palette. Very bad joke.
Thank you. Okay,
There
yes,
you go.
we're tag teaming. We're gonna take care of it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So 7:05, and for the roll call, everyone that's here, with excuse absent is Sue and Marita. And Donna Lynn, assume, will be coming shortly.
Okay.
She better be.
The,
Scandalous.
the
Scandalous.
next thing on the agenda was the approval of the June 26th meeting minutes. I don't know if you all had a chance to review them, if there were any edits or corrections to them.
Yeah, I reviewed them. I'll motion to accept them if you're looking for that.
Please?
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Yeah, no, sure, why not? Karen's got a second? Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect.
Aye. There you go.
Perfect. In your packet, I sent, although we don't have a treasurer's report per se, you're going to see something that was blue and it said Town of Monroe Live Year-to-Date Budget Report. Just so you know, this is something I typically share with my library board of directors. So it is the actual municipal something 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 system. This is how we pay bills and do and track invoices. So we do have a line item in there so that we do have a way to accept donations and to pay bills once we start that process. So I just wanted you to know that there is something established with the town so you can have that. And this is something that maybe Donna Lynn and I will work together down the road to make sure to audit this and then also to do any kind of treasure report. So that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. Use it as the treasurer's report. Has any questions on it? Anybody see it before? Okay. Okay. And I don't think we have to approve it. I think it just goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. Wow. Moving right along. Unfinished business. Okay, so I went back to our winner and I had asked what we had asked to go back and see what the logo that we selected looked like in American flag blue, because that's what I heard. I hope I got that right. And I didn't know if anyone was able to look at the two. Did anyone prefer one over the other?
I looked at them side by side, and although the blue was interesting, I found it to be so dark that it was almost as though it was trying to be black.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I prefer the black. I just think it's edgy in a good way.
Right.
It's a bold statement. So I'm voting for the black over the blue, but I appreciate the artist cooperating with our request.
Yeah. I too agree with you on that. Any other opinions or comments on this? You're a quiet bunch today.
I am not.
I have to do this because I have been asked to do this. The first selectman had contacted me based on our selection of the logo and wants to know, and I talked to him how the conversations went and things like that. And he wanted to know if we wanted to put a star on the logo in the area about where Monroe would be, like under the 2 somewhere. I said I would bring it forward to you guys for discussion. And I'm going to propose this, and I just want to open it for discussion from the group.
I think it's an interesting idea. If it doesn't, am I talking over somebody? I'm sorry if I am.
I don't see anybody raising their hand, no.
Should I raise my hand each time?
No, 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 no.
All right. I like the idea. I see where he's going with that, but I don't know how that's going to work with the 250 in the middle. If you put it right where Monroe is, and we can certainly do that, I don't know if it's going to get in the way of what's there. But, you know, I like the idea. Just if it can be separate, maybe you might have to scooch the 250 up a little bit to get Monroe. But just to have that in white as well against the black background, I think that would be fine. I think the intention is good. Because there is a little confusion with the Connecticut 250 and then the signing and, you know, what are we really celebrating? So it's kind of, you know, puts a pin in it, you know, right? What we're talking about with Monroe. So I'm okay with it if it doesn't get too crowded. That's my 2 cents.
What about the scale, though? Should we, you know, print something? Is the scale of the star going to be difficult to make it pronounced enough or whatever? I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Are we going to embroider on anything? Because an embroidery would be tough at the scale, having how fine it would have to be a white star on a logo.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, but
It's a valid
on like
point.
a sticker, it'd be fine, right? Because it's printed, but
Right. Good point. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of room for a big star. It would have to be a rather tiny star there, just from what I recall.
Carrie,
And
I'm
don't
sorry.
forget, it does say Monroe, Connecticut underneath
Mhm.
pretty large letters. So I think it's an interesting idea, but it may not be practical from a scaling perspective.
would it change the artist's logo? Yeah.
So,
You know how artists are.
yes, we had a competition. We chose a logo. We
Yeah.
went back on blue, which is fine. Okay, fine. But now we're opening it up and changing the logo,
Mhm.
in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
And now we're reopening the contest.
Right.
This is not what he submitted. I mean, I know that I can be, some people can say I'm difficult and I play by the rules and all kinds of stuff, but I don't know. That's the logo we chose.
Then I'm fine with it as it is.
Karen, any idea? Unmute.
I was playing on the thing trying to draw, you know, like on an edit, a star on it. I don't know. But like, I understand what you're saying too, is that, you know, it's like, oh, great, we chose your logo, but change this, change this, change this.
Yeah.
Came up
It's
with
not
it
our
on that.
design. It's,
Yeah.
No,
And
Aaron's,
I don't know.
Aaron's right. Aaron's
The
right.
star to me kind of ends up looking like a little asterisk for some reason. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, that's where Monroe is. But
Yeah, but just keep going. You know, keep going back again and again, saying, "Oh, change the color. What about a star?" I mean, it's not a collaborative thing. This is your submission, vote, and we
Right.
have. Yeah, you know, you have to be fair to the contest, I think.
I thought I was being difficult, but I'm glad you.
No, you're not. You're actually being very practical.
it's a legitimate. It's not an
Yeah.
argument. It's valid. You
Yeah.
know,
It could be an argument, but
Yeah.
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
and then
Then
just
and
thinking
then
about the person that did the art, it's just like, well, we chose you, but we want you to make all these changes. Like if I was artist, I'd kind of be like, all right, why did I bother? If you're going to change everything I just did.
It's true. I've changed my mind. Just
Okay.
leave it as it is, in my
Okay,
opinion.
so let me put this. I'm going to put a motion out. Let's do it in phases. Okay, the first motion I'm putting out, I'd like to put a motion that we keep the logo as voted upon without a star. That is my resolution or motion out there.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye, to leave it as is.
Leave it as is. Okay. Now the next part of that motion is, do we want this in black or blue?
I'll second the motion and vote officially for black.
Any discussion on black or blue? No? Okay. So I'll second black. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, great.
You're welcome.
Okay.
My microphone's on and I'm still just raising my hand, not speaking. I don't know.
I know. Why not?
I'm not alone. So
You're not.
there's kids, dogs, cats, spouses.
Well, I'm expecting any moment the cleaning people to come, so it's okay. Don't worry. I'm still here at the library. So this is what the next step is for me, just so you know what's going to happen now. I am going to write I'm going to formally introduce this. I will work with the artists, make sure we have it right. I'll have, I already have my crack team approve the press release because, you know, they're English majors and they're good at it. And so I'll start that press release so that we can now start announcing that we have a logo and start thinking about our next steps and where we are. So again, to keep the juices going on that.
Did Aaron second, I'm sorry, on black? Who
I
second?
think I second. I think I second on black.
Okay,
And unanimous.
that's because Aaron was raising his hand instead.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's kind of what my next steps on the logo are. Any questions on the logo or any steps or what suggestions on what should be done or where?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to go further. I'm going to go to the next bullet point, which we have was swag, because I think that's like the next thing to talk about. We talked last meeting, we discussed that we were going to do maybe dog collars, maybe pens, but definitely hats,
I thought it was
and
dog.
t-shirts, correct?
It was dog scarves, not collars.
Oh, scarf, sorry. All right.
Different
So
price.
I've done some homework I want to share with you. Okay, so I have done research with Amazon Merch on Demand. I also, staff also suggested that I check out Redbubble. That's really for artists. So Merch on Demand is not a bad thing. You do get, what I would have to do, I'd have to get all the terms and conditions of Amazon or either one of these platforms, feed it through the attorney review process here, and then we'd be able to load up our logo and there would be no inventory. And if you recall, this all started because I heard that Ridgefield was using Merch on Demand.
Right.
However, not true. So I called them and I said, so how do you like Merch on Demand? What's going on? They said, well, and here's something I'm going to throw out there. The town of Monroe has a purchasing policy in which we should really be purchasing from local vendors. The Ridgefield 250 Commission felt, you know, if we want to have a team effort, maybe we should do local. Ergo, we're going to have inventory. Just saying. Throwing it out there, different ways of doing it. And hold on, I'm going to hold on, if you can wait 1 second. And then, okay, Ridgefield then also introduced me to this man who has a website, but it's really not Merch on Demand. I don't know how it would work. But that's what my research has found so far. Okay. What do you think?
Well, I like the idea of sourcing locally. I think that's responsible and just generally a nice thing to do. I know someone in Monroe who has worked with the school systems for many years, and the Monroe Little League He has a business. He's a Monroe resident, and he makes shirts and hats. And I'm sure he would appreciate the business. And his children go to Monroe schools. He's been a resident for, well, probably 20 years now, maybe more. His name is Craig Schulke, and I would recommend him if we go that route. Now, mind you, that does mean that we would have some inventory, but because he's a local guy, we may be able to take orders and turn them around very quickly to kind of mitigate inventory issues. I remember Donna Lynn saying that there are still a lot of swag left over from the bicentennial. I'm wearing my bicentennial shirt tonight.
Yeah, library has it too. Yeah.
So, so Craig Schulke might be a good, resource who lives in Monroe.
Aaron, what ideas did you have?
Couldn't we do both? Get T-shirts and hats locally, and then use the on-demand if somebody wants a mug or a scarf or other stuff, and that way you're not on the hook for all that inventory.
Right.
Yeah.
I like
Because if
that.
you're only doing local, you're only going to end up having like a hat and a shirt. You're not going to have. I don't think there's too many of those like on-demand print companies locally anymore. I used to have stuff made for work, through my company, and but got banned by the federal government. So now I don't have those resources anymore.
Whoops.
Because Kevin had mentioned Craig Shelkey that we've worked with too. Also throwing another local out there. Kevin, you might know him. He grew up in town. Fred Plesha.
Oh yeah, I graduated with Fred.
Yeah, his kids all went through the system. He has printing shop. He did all my post-prom stuff. He's done all our signs for historic, blah, blah, blah. And he owns Southbury Printing, but lives here, grew up in Monroe, still here kind of thing. So just another, because I'm guessing you're going to look at several people to figure out.
And to piggyback on Aaron's point too, Aaron, just so you know, according to Merch on Demand, it is okay for us to use, let's say, Redbubble or somebody else. Amazon allows us to use other vendors. Like if we wanted to Merch on Demand, Redbubble, and I think also local printing, I think it's a possibility. It's not an exclusive contract with it too.
I'm not sure exactly how that would work if you were having things printed locally, whether it be, anything on paper or stickers versus shirts and hats, and how those orders would have to be fed down locally and filled locally. They're not going to send the merchandise to Amazon to ship.
So here's what happened. No, so I'd have to go pick up, if it were local, I'd have to drive. And then I'd have to schlep it in my little milk crate to wherever we're going and do whatever we need to do. Not a problem. We've all done that before. With Merch on Demand, what you're doing is you're uploading the logo, and they do the silk screening. They do the actual printing there. And then they ship on your Amazon Prime account, and it goes to your house.
If you have Amazon Prime. If you don't, then you're paying shipping.
Correct.
I don't know how that helps. I don't know how that helps. I've tried. It doesn't work. I just don't know how that would work with a local vendor per se.
Well, and I can ask. I can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Do you want me to explore the local for the next meeting and ask them some questions about what we're thinking about too? Augmenting.
Yeah,
things?
I think that would be a great idea, because you have a sense of what's going on with the Amazon option, and also a greater sense, I think, than any of us on the legalities, because you said you had to feed this up through legal. I think that's a good idea. I can get you the information for Craig if you wish. I'd be happy to do that.
I would like that.
And Karen, can you provide for Fred?
Already on it.
All right.
Perfect.
Very good.
And then I'll contact them and say, here's what we're doing. We're on doing this, X, Y, Z, and see what they say. And who knows? Maybe they now have an on-demand in their little shop. I don't know anymore. People,
Website,
to compete I mean, trying to get,
on demand because they're local. So if you need 50 shirts for next weekend, then they crank out 50 shirts. If you only need 10, then they crank out 10 the following week, because they're local and all they have is a couple box loads of cotton t-shirts and they stamp it.
true, and that's one thing, but they also on demand, let's just say, for instance, uh, mugs, for the sake of argument, back to
Right.
mugs,
Yeah.
dog scarves, whatever we want. Hi, Donalyn. Donalyn joined at 7:25, Ray.
Yes, got it.
Okay. So let's say we have our stable of product. But back to, let's say somebody, yeah, I don't want another t-shirt, but I'd love a dog scarf, or I'd love something else. Or even if we wanted pens to have as swag at, I don't know, all the places, farmers market we're going, maybe if they have in their mom and pop website a way to pay through credit card, and then people either go pick it up or UPS it, they may already be doing some of that options that we don't know about.
Right.
I don't know. So at least two people I can source that through. Ray, do you have anybody in the chamber that I should be considering?
The only one I was going to mention locally that I was surprised that he does it, and I was corrected the other day. Another matter I'm working on is Superior Signs up on 25. John.
I can find it.
Yeah, he. I didn't realize, but he has machines in the back room that he does this as part of his sign business. That he does that as well, which I was surprised to know that. I don't know what how many products he can service. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just shirts and hats. I don't know. But I was just informed of this the other day. So that's the only local person that I could speak of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Does
Perfect.
Dave Wolf do that? Does Dave Wolf in town, is he still doing that? He
I
used
have
to.
no idea.
Yeah, Dave.
Um,
Dave sold. Dave has been very ill and sold
Yeah.
now, so he's no longer doing it himself.
Okay,
Yeah, he sold out to a bigger company.
gotcha.
Okay. Well, for the purchasing policy here at town, 3 people, 3 bids. I can go call them and then get prepared for our next meeting and give you a breakdown of what they're looking at and what we can or can't do. And then maybe start putting the Amazon merch on demand through the paces with the attorney for review. I can do both. That's fine.
Good.
Okay. Good. Okay. So here is my dilemma that we're talking about. I didn't know how to do this. In unfinished business, in order, I have review the existing timeline, talk about town proclamations, the Liberty Tree, and donations. So I'm having the chicken and the egg problem with all of that. I don't know what to talk about first. I'm having a hard time. So I'm throwing it out for, let's say, the next half hour or 20 minutes. What do you think we should be tackling next?
Say what I might think.
Sure, go ahead. Hi, Donna.
Hi. I think if it's not donations, I think we should talk about finances. Because some of those are driven by what money do we have? Because I saw about that, the tree and the cost of that and all, and even thinking the swag we want to get and whatnot, and I think that should be. I'm thinking that should be something we talk about first on how we're going to get our money to do all this to get kickstarted. Some of it will give us a return, like on the swag, we hope. Others are not. So that's just my thought.
I was thinking the same.
What were the other items you were trying to figure out what to talk about, Nicole? I remember the tree. What were the other
The
donations?
town proclamations, what the mayor the first elected could be doing.
Okay.
And then exactly our timeline. What are the events we want to do?
So yeah, I'm still thinking that maybe two things. We could talk, the proclamation doesn't sound like it would cost us anything to do. It's a matter of when we're gonna do it, and if you wanna do it at town hall, during town council. We're only meeting once in August, so
Mhm.
you might wanna get it in September, so that could be now something we could talk about, but the donations would be the other one, the money. Cause you need money for the tree, and you're probably gonna need money for the other items as well. Get things going. Because we can't define, we might have ideas on what we want to put on the timeline of things to do, but if we do, some of those items on the timeline may be driven again by finances.
The proclamation, what proclamation are we referencing there?
This is hold on one sec. One moment. This is the one, the municipal proclamation that they are looking for, the governor and America 250 out of DC are looking, the state commission is looking for collaboration with the governor, municipalities to adopt the proclamation. They gave us the sample this summer or maybe in September to have a little due press on this and get this taken care of. Like Donna said, it's again continuing the press, exposure, and allowing something to be done.
Yeah, wasn't it, it also too, it was geared towards just like publicly accepting our participation in CT 250. It sounded like more like a formality.
It is a formality.
On that.
No, I was
I
gonna
don't think
say,
every town had to do it, but it was a nicety to have.
I was just thinking of, rather than just town council, because I don't know how many people attend town council meetings, but except for the dais themselves, maybe, I don't know, besides 3 or 4 people, but that wouldn't give you such a big splash. I was thinking, is St. Jude's doing their time festival in August again this year? I would assume they do, they will. They did it last year. So that's a big venue with a whole lot of people, and maybe that would be a great kickoff, and we can actually incorporate it as one of our events for 250, because we won't have to pay anything to do it. We would get the microphone from the band, each of the 2 evenings that the event goes on, one Saturday night, one Sunday afternoon, or whatever, to announce it to that audience, because they come from far and wide, and I bet 80% of the population sitting down eating their pizza free are Monroeites. So what better audience to appeal to than real Monroeites than the 10 people at the town council meeting?
Who has connections to do the research to find out that we can have permission? You want to try that, Karen?
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you bring
because they did announce that they are having it. It's usually the last week in August, that Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, so they get a big draw for that, and what a wonderful place. We can get our town rep to come and do the proclamation, or whoever needs to do that, to hype it up a little bit. Maybe we can even do some fundraising there. They'll give us a booth or whatever that we could do at that event, because they're going to care about their town that they reside in, the church.
Karen, can you do all of that for us?
Yes.
Okay.
My husband's a lector, so he's got the contacts, so I will help.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay.
On that.
Perfect. So not only the proclamation, but also to have a table so that we can figure out stuff.
Okay.
And we can bring our samples of our swag there and start taking orders.
You won't have swag that fast, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, we can get something locally, just as a mock-up for 5 or 6 things, just to throw them on a table with pads in front of it to make orders with.
Gotcha.
What's it, Karen? Does St. Jude's have a date for their festival yet?
Yeah, I was trying. My husband is not responding to my text right now.
Okay.
But it might be up on their Facebook or their website already, because they've been announcing it at church the last couple of weeks.
We haven't gotten the request for donations yet, though. That usually comes the last minute too, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I know, they're asking for help with the festival. So, yeah, before we're done, I'm sure he'll wake up and respond to my text.
That is right around the corner. It's right.
Yeah, it's in August. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Oh.
it's
Yeah, it's a month away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah, I don't see it on their website yet, on their Facebook page anyway, but
And the sign's not up yet either, but
It's
when I go
usually
for
like
my
this.
walk.
yeah, no, the signs usually go up pretty late, but
Yeah, everything goes out late. Yeah. Like I said, I got about 4 days to get money approved to give them donations because they give it to me 3 days before it kicks off.
Okay, so that's one thing. So that's one event. Yay, we have one event. Good. Now, Donalyn, you had said something about donations. And when you say getting money or fundraising, what are you thinking about
Well,
that?
when I heard donations, I just think treasury money, and so I'm thinking if the donations, the need for the donations is that we have to have money to launch any events that we're going to be doing to put on, and the events go on a timeline. So I think just to let it up to say, how are we going to get the funds to do what we want to do? I mean, and that would determine what we could put on the timeline for our events.
so the Italian festival is August 20th through the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm not on vacation. I can do that. And I'm gonna challenge you, Donna, because I've in all my lives of fundraising, when I walk the streets to fundraise for Operas on the Green and everything else, it helped with the goals to tell them what they're funding. So I see what you're saying. So then I guess my question is, are we calling big vendors? Are we going to call people in town to support us? Are we looking for sponsors?
Well,
Are we looking for a program?
that is my ultimate question, because having gone through this before, yeah, I mean, you could get your money in a couple of different ways. And I've done it a few different ways for different
Okay.
organizations. Going door to door, it doesn't matter who you are, you don't get a lot of bang for your time. You just don't. It's the same people that would kind of donate to the town all the time. I think that what ended up helping is that you put it more to like what the big golf outings do, the travelers and all, is that you put it out to say we want big metal sponsors, and you have a sign for them out there, and you set a threshold for, like, you're a gold sponsor, a silver sponsor, whatever, and you set the thresholds for that. um you do have your online donations. That's a good way to do that, and you make your announcements, constantly putting that in the press and all, in Facebook, do
Mhm.
media. But walking door to door, it doesn't help at all. You don't get much on that. Um, those are just the few that I have on that one. Now, how much do we need? That's a different story. We could also set up booths, let the people come to you, and set up booths at, like, the St. Jude's Festival. They will allow us to be there. We've got the Apple Festival, right? St. Peter's, right? In the fall, don't they have their Apple Festival? Um, there may be a couple of other fairs that go on that we could be in, because after all, we have the entire course of a year to still raise donations and get into fairs. So it's too bad we missed, like, the Strawberry Festival. But the one thing we have to be aware of is that this is an election year in our municipality. So you're going to have September right through to in October, you're going to have the political campaigns out there pounding the pavement and doing fundraising. So, and also taking time and activity. So we may have to just, maybe that might be a little downtime for us. Maybe not. But those are just the few things offhand that I could think of. And maybe what we could also do is, if we get some signs made up or so, we have the arts in the park, right? And we could just have a booth there as a table as people come in. And if we have signs for it or some sort of literature, we can just do something there too and start having a jar and collect.
But the other thing I thought about is the concerts on the green, you know, the concerts on, well, not on the green, but in the park.
That's what I mean, the arts in the park, yeah.
Oh, that's what you call it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe it is called concerts in the park here.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's the one I'm thinking of, and those are
Yeah.
going, well, that starts now, so we have only, well, we have 3 more, well, after today, after Friday, there's what, 3 left?
Is that all it is? Yeah.
Yeah, they don't run long. I think the last one is in first week of August or so. So
And
we can
then
do some things there.
did we see that the farmer's market was on there also?
That's another spot, demand,
I put it in, yeah.
yeah, farmer's market.
Um, we're, well, it's the last farmer's market in October 3rd that the Historical Society has a table. And we could always split it with you or whatever, because we haven't come up with anything that we're gonna really do at it. But, you know, and I can ask Kelly Plunkett if there's another date that maybe we can, you know, have just the 250 and not the historic and 250, but I don't think anybody in the historic would have a problem having, you know, part of the table or joining onto our table to do something.
Well, then that leads us back into the correspondence to be able to communicate what we're trying to do besides us talking about it. You know, is there a formal letter that we can draft up that we can use to do corporate solicitations? Because, you know, all the banks will jump on, no problem. That's for sure. And then we can go from there, you know, with the, you know, sip-ins and, you know, they're always kind, you know, to do
Benedict's,
something.
yeah.
You know, Benedict's and, you know, that sort of thing, especially for this kind of a venue. We
Yeah.
have all the new, you know, middle market companies that came to town, Jersey Mike's and all that stuff. We can try to, you know, tap them. O'Reilly's just opened up last week. Auto parts store, maybe they ought to be part of this kind of momentum to, you know, announce their brand is in town. We have to sell that to them. They don't understand it, of course.
Right.
So we need a pretty comprehensive letter that articulates what this is, what the heck this is all about.
Right.
Um,
And for those people, we need to get a large, um, I don't say sign. I mean, it's the bigger one, you know, that probably like 7 feet tall or just as wide to list those, because usually those people, they're going to be dropping a lot of money. You know, I'm talking $1,000 at a time or so, and they need to be advertised in that capacity, and that sign it would have to be traveled, or maybe two signs that we can port, you know, that we have a sign for, here's a gold, here's a silver, and here's a bronze sponsors, but something they have to be advertised all the time for that kind of money at every forum, at every venue, event that we have.
or what about like maybe a thermometer on the green if we can get that momentum behind it rather than an isolated event, you know,
That's
and
another idea.
you know, make the whole town, you know, culpable for trying to raise 25,000 or whatever the numbers we're looking for, you know what I mean? We want to be successful, so we don't want to make it too high. Um, you know, and it might get some groundswell from people watching it as they drive by it at 45 miles an hour, to say, gee, maybe you ought to, you know, try to help with that. Look at how it's growing with the little red line going up the ladder.
That might be, I would say in the past that that's a good idea. I just thinking off the top of my head, it may be you could try it, but it might not get as much momentum because of 2 reasons. You know, people could be looking at this and saying, why do we pay taxes? Why don't we have this in the budget, you know, to spend money on, right? And then also too, taxes are going up this year because of the reevaluations, and I don't know how much we're gonna get from the general public and how well that's going to be received to ask for money, you know, when time. So we could try it.
Yeah, you
I
know,
don't know if it may be a little backfire on us or so like that, but it is worth a thought.
well, the only way we can defend ourselves, it's really not a town initiative. It's more of a state initiative that we're participating in.
Federal.
We'd
The
have to
federal
make that
initiative.
very
Federal,
clear
better
to
yet.
people.
More
Yeah,
detachment. Yeah, federal.
yeah, we'd have to make that very clear to people.
Well, That's what the letter is all about, or the
Yeah.
handout that we're gonna give at all the tabletops,
Yeah, that's a,
you know?
that's the, that has to be made very clear to them.
Okay.
So we have a couple of different ideas here.
Okay, well, let's give homework
Mhm.
because it's 1:15 right now and I don't want to keep you too much longer. For the Italian Fest, first thing on the list, Karen is going to work on that for our August 7th meeting. We're going to look about the proclamation, getting a table, and if I can put a mayonnaise jar out there. Yeah, Aaron?
I was just gonna say I am on vacation the week of that whole week, so I won't be at
That's
the
okay.
August 7th
Okay, so
meeting.
you're on vacation that week? Okay, and I'm on vacation the week after.
Is the artwork camera ready that we could go right to print on something just so I can even get something made up real quick by, John over at Superior. He'll crank out 4 or 5 items for me just.
I am going to call on that because I'm pretty sure with the Monroe purchasing policy, because it's going to go through finance, they're going to want to be sure that I did 3 bids.
No, I didn't say we're buying anything. I'm getting
Yeah,
sam-
but I'm
Just
gonna
printing
find
them
out
as
what all 3.
samples, right, for
I'm just
free
gonna
or
print
whatever.
samples so we have something to run with. That's all. You know, so I'll
Why
buy
don't
them.
we find out who we're going to choose first?
What's that?
Why don't we find out who we're going to choose first?
Well, that might take too long. Another month from now, we won't have time. It's already August.
I will work on it, Ray. But
And
I
think-
don't, I hear what you're saying, but if we go to Superior and then I call the other guys and go someplace else,
Oh no, I'm just gonna buy them myself, and they'll do me a favor and print out, 2 or 3 of each of these things. You know what I'm saying? So we're
I
not
understand.
we're not committing anything. It's just I want to get something in print, so that
I
we.
don't know. I will look and see.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. So wait, you're going to want to do what again? Get samples?
Well, I just thought we, have.
Okay, so then what happens if you do a donation like that? I'll need a receipt. I need to know because this is what Don and Lynn and I have to report back to the town that that's a donation.
Oh,
Just, you
Yeah.
see what I mean?
Yes, and the other thing I'm thinking of too.
And
is
it can
I
be
know-
done. It can be done, Ray, but there's a little bit more to it than
oh, really?
how you're used to it.
Yes,
We have
and
to we have to track every donation that comes in.
yes, you do.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and if there's
How are you gonna
there's
how are you gonna
individual,
track the cash that comes through a mayonnaise jar?
Again, that's like everything else here at the library. Oh, it's a 45 cent fine here. Take the 50 and keep it. We just have a slush fund. And then we donate, then we deposit it anonymous.
yeah.
So what if I slush fund $500 into the mayonnaise jar? What happens then?
That somebody's got it. Who's going to do that? Whoever did that is going to have to
You
either.
wouldn't know because it's cash. That's what I'm saying.
It's
An
Exactly, it's
anonymous
still
cash
cash. We
donation.
had this conversation. It's cash. It's going to go anonymous.
Yeah,
Every month, Don and Lynn and I have to write a memo to the town council. They report it to the town council. It gets that way, and it's
It's a lot
anonymous.
easier than trying to document Mrs. Jones gave you 25 cents in the jar.
We are not
No,
doing
it's-
that.
no, it doesn't do
Right.
that
We are
that
not
way.
doing that. It goes as a
Yeah.
complete deposit
Right.
to the town at like $500.
Okay.
Period.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So that's not too hard. Then that's good.
No.
Correct, right. And then because any other donation that's not that collection, right? It's individual. So when it comes in through like oh God, what's the electronic donation application that we have or so like that, that is tracked, and that everything like that goes up to town council. And if it's a certain limit, which I can't remember what is it $1,000 or something like limit, it has to get
1,500
individually
something.
approved. Yeah. And so it has to also too, this doesn't apply to the swag, but it will apply to any kind of literature that you produce. You need to check with town hall, because although this is a state activity, right, CT 250, we are as a town participating in it, and there are rules in the town about any documents that are coming out from the town should also have the town seal on it. So we need to, so it's one thing to do the swag. You don't have to have it on like t-shirts or anything like that. But if you're producing any pamphlets, literature like that, that's coming out from the town of Monroe, then you have to have the attribution on it as well of the town. So I can check with Terry on that, Nicole.
Sure.
on literature.
But that's okay. So that's fine. Everything is going to need town council. It's going to need our logo and the town's logo, period.
Yes, it will.
Period. Everything.
Fine, sure.
Because everything. Yes, Karen.
Probably a dumb question, but all of a sudden I'm sitting here thinking, so we're raising money for what? Like, what are we using that money for?
That's what I'm thinking too.
Okay. Because I'm thinking like, okay, I have a friend who had done all the solicitation for like post-com and she knows lots of people and she gets big donations. But I'm like, if I ask her, like, can you ask your friends? I'm like, what am I asking her for?
Right.
So we don't know that.
We don't know that.
No,
Because we don't have it. We don't have events.
Yeah, it's
Right.
to fund the events that we may need to hire police to, to watch the traffic pattern or who knows what.
But
So I guess
Ray,
like, too, like if
Ray,
we're
Ray.
gonna have a table at like say St. Jude's and we're gonna make our proclamation or we're gonna be at Farmers Market or Apple Fest, what are we asking town folk to give us donations for?
Steen's relationship with Donald Trump. This is
Whoop,
What?
What?
your cell phone's loud out there, Kevin.
No,
And
it
you're
was me.
absolutely right, Karen. Because they are going to ask exactly, and then the correspondence, you're going to go to the sponsors. What am I paying for?
Right.
You're paying for X, Y event. You're doing X, Y, Z. So this is where donations and events get
That's
kind of
fair.
like, what
That's
is
fair.
it the chicken or the egg?
Mhm.
Do we need the timeline before we raise funds? Do we need funds to raise the timeline? I don't know.
Because I'm just thinking if I'm going ahead and talking to Father Gil or the other Father Joseph or whatever about it, like I'm not 100% what I'm asking them, other than can we announce that we're having a 250 what?
The proclamation. Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're asking the priest to do is if the town of Monroe can have can use some of the time at the event to have a proclamation for the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. It's a federal event. It's something we have a commission for, and the commission would love to have a proclamation read and signed by the first selectman, and that we would love to be able to have a table to expand that knowledge,
Okay, that's what I didn't
awareness,
understand what we
and then
were
we'll have a
doing.
mayonnaise jar out.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand what the table was going to be.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm thinking I would ask the first selectman's office first about making the announcement at a private entity.
Correct.
Before checking with, with St. Jude. It may be that they may want to do it at more of from the government side, and maybe we can't mix the two, right? I don't know.
Okay, I'll call Terry first.
It's a good
Yeah.
question.
I'll call the office first.
Yeah.
It's
And
not,
would that be the same also for Apple or Farmers Market?
That was a community event, yeah.
Correct.
I can clarify and confirm all of that.
Mhm. So,
Okay.
Nicole, getting back to what Karen was saying, do you have, right now, are there items that we know we would have expenditures for? And so like, no swag, no maybe the tree. Do we have anything to know to kickstart?
No, anything that we really did on the library would be doing, if you want to adopt that event calendar. Most of that is free. We probably would have refreshments. We would probably have things like that we would be doing a lot of peripheral stuff. What you're looking for right now is marketing and that kind of thing. But the actual events, we don't have any events like a ball.
What about the tree, though? The tree is an expensive proposition.
Right.
We're not even talked about the tree yet.
Oh,
Okay.
That would be a request from somebody to pay for it. Yes. But we haven't even talked about the tree. But what events I don't have events I don't even have events. I mean, the other thing is you could put on the back of the t-shirts, all the sponsors, like you do on a road race.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different things. I mean, we can get samples out there for the tables, but you could also put the sponsors on the back of the t-shirt.
Right. And
Or everything, like you said, Donna, everything that's printed, sponsors' names and logos have to go on it. Just like we do for summer reading. Every sponsor we get.
Everything that, well, no, everything that's that's literature more.
No, I would put it on t-shirts. I put it everywhere.
No, wait. Everything that's literature has to have the town logo on it.
Right.
And if no, it's not necessarily for like the swag or anything like that.
Town logo, I would tell you right now, they're going to tell you town
Oh my
logo
God.
is going to need to be on all swag,
There you go.
all literature, everything that goes out.
Mhm.
I will also tell you that I think it would be a great idea that town logo will have to be on any mug somewhere, I bet you, on websites and anything else that we do.
Mhm.
I would tell you too that on t-shirts and everything, the logo has to be with us. That's just a requirement here at town.
And that's fine. Would look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's,
So back, go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say, would that seal really reprint that easily? It's gonna have to be a pretty good size
I
for,
don't know. I don't know, Ray. We'll figure that out. That's why I'm calling the printers.
you're gonna, and that's why you need a camera ready for that too, then.
Yeah, I have all that already. Kevin,
Yes,
did you have a question?
I did not.
Okay. So it looks like right now I'm calling the first selectman on the Italian Fest, the Apple Festival, the Farmers Market. I will not have time to do concerts in the park, so that's going to be out. I just know that I can't do that. The sign for the travel ready sign, we'll figure that out. Thermometer on the green, I don't know what we'll do with that. I'm going to put thermometer on the green. I'm going to table that because I think, Donna Lynn, you do have a great idea between what we're already experiencing at town hall and with the election, it's wacky season. So I wouldn't even, it may be exciting to see the thermometer when the bottom is at least red, and then you can build on it. So that may be November, December, I don't know, something like that. And I would like somebody to take a crack at the sponsors letter. Does anybody have one that they have in their bag of tricks?
Try it for you.
Yes, Donald? Great.
Yeah, I may try it for you. I may have something from somewhere else that I had to do this for.
I figure somebody had it in a bag of tricks. Okay. So here's what's going to happen with me. Homework assignment for me is one more time. I am going to work on publicizing the logo, doing the press releases on the logo. I am going to call 3 local vendors regarding swag. I will also see what I can do on Amazon merch. I will speak with the first selectman about proclamations and doing it at the Italian Fest because it would be great. Or do they want to do it at this green or maybe Stepney Green or like making it a little bit more inclusive? I will then also see what we can do. Does anybody have a connection for the Apple Festival? To get a table there?
Is that St. Peter's that does
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want? Okay.
Table? Just a table.
You want a table?
Yeah.
I'll talk to someone about that.
Okay. Farmers market, maybe we can partner with historical because that makes sense. And then we'll go from there.
Can I ask?
Nicole, I added Craig Schulte's information to the chat of this meeting. I don't know if you'd seen it. Just wanted to.
I did. Thank you.
All right.
I emailed you.
Okay. Haven't looked at it yet. Okay.
Okay.
So what we can do, so we'll do that. We'll at least get some immediate press and immediate events and getting us out there with a table. And then I do want you to think, I do think Karen's point is valid. You know, what are we raising funds for? Do you want to have a ball? Do you want to have something else as a thing? Do you just want to, I mean, remember this? I had put it in your packet, the agenda. Remember this little thing? Do you want to do anything there? Is there anything more that we can do to augment what's already been established. I don't know.
Well, I assume that the culminating event is the reading of the Independence on July 4th,
I don't know that. That's my idea, but
which
we don't
means
know that.
gathering a lot of folks around the green, and therefore you'd want the ice cream trucks there for the kids and all that stuff. It's going to be hot in July, so we got to pay for the ice cream truck and give away free ice creams, or and or we bring in the organizations to try to help with that, the Rotary, etc., the Chamber, and they can give out whatever ice pops, or I mean, so more of a free event, so that we're not always tapping the residents for more money to do something. That's what the underwriting is all about.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if you want to do that. You may come up with a different idea.
We better come up with these fast. Another month is gone.
Yep.
Nicole, when is I thought there was a timeline on ordering that elm tree. If we wanted it, isn't? or am I-
Yeah, they said you planted by XYZ,
the-
if we go that route. I'm not worried.
I'm not so worried
Nicole,
about planning. I'm wondering if if the plaque part of it is available. I thought that maybe that timed out.
Say that again, Donna. I lost you a little bit.
If the tree, is there a time limit on saying yes to that tree with this state or so? Because I thought there was, unless I'm reading I'm not thinking correctly, but I thought that had a time limit on it, like about a month or so to buy it and to get the plaque and all that. Am I?
No, you may have said that. I
Okay.
don't know.
Something I read here. It could have been there was a lot that you sent, and I knew we weren't participating in some of the stuff. But something I read said, I thought August to September there was a timeout for it.
I'm reading it right now and I don't see it quick.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll ship in the fall
There you go. That's what I'm thinking.
because trees
So
get
with
planted
that
in the
ship in
fall.
the fall, that means that there's a time to get it, like now or so. There you go. Mhm.
Again, I don't know if that's what we want to do, if that's the best use of any funds. Just ideas.
Mhm.
Yes, Kevin?
I just wanted to mention something from a past experience when I was on Memorial Day Parade Committee. There was an idea to have, free ice cream and things like that, a barbecue on the green. And at the time, I remember hearing primarily from Vita Stone that that would require getting the health department involved.
Absolutely.
So I just kind of wanted to make that known with regard to Ray's idea for handing out ice cream. What seems like such a simple thing could potentially be quite involved.
Yep, it is.
Usually if it's like a truck like that, they've already have their permission, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't be too
But
much of an issue.
Well, there is a truck there next to the reviewing stand that's selling ice cream all day, but the idea of just giving it away somehow put it in a different category that made it more difficult. So
Oh,
I just wanted, I don't know to what extent that's true, but it didn't go for that reason at the time because the health.
yeah, it'll be complicated because you need the running water, you need
Yeah,
even I
things
think
had to be
all the things
refrigerated.
that health department's going to require.
Yeah.
Think about everything that happened at the fireworks. That was getting those food trucks was complicated because you do need the health department, even if we're just giving them the space, road space. There's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Actually, one thought to food, it could be that remember for the the bicentennial, was it the Chamber of Commerce or uh,
Yes.
Rotary? What they did was they had a table at the Family Day, and what they did was they worked out a plan, if you will, with Jenny's Pizza, and Jenny's made, like, I'll say 20 pizzas. They put it out there they picked it up, the chamber put it out there to be sold by slice. When they got down to half, they called up Jenny, say, make us another 20, and they just kept resupplying it like that, back and forth it went. No license that had to be had, because Jenny's had it. We're just bringing it in and selling it by the slice, and they made money on that and gave it to the
Yeah, we gave all of it to the
committee. at,
For the
you know,
community.
for that. And if we do it, that's a fundraiser for ourselves. And I thought, what a great idea. Whoever came up with that and that committee.
Yeah, as long as the food provider's licensed like a restaurant, then there's no
Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
And they worked it out, and there was never a shortage of pizza that day at all.
Mhm.
And they made money on that. So
Yeah.
it's
So I
a
know
great
for like like when we've done our baked goods at the Christmas fair, um, we're making them in our home and selling them, and we go through the health department, and it's not a big to do. They just go, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
if it's
That's
already
pretty good.
something prepackaged, like, I don't know, Micheluzzi's, or somebody gives us a, ton of ices, they already, have their food license, and we're giving out something already prepackaged. So therefore, I don't think the health department has to be like, oh, you have to wear gloves, you have to have water, you have to, those things. But I guess it depends on which,
Yeah.
um, what we're doing exactly.
And I don't think there'll be a whole lot of audience either on 4th of July. Most people are away for the weekend and all that jazz. So I think it'd be a much smaller group because we're not having a parade, or unless you want to have a parade too. So there won't be a whole lot of assembling. It'd be more of a destination point, which I'm not sure how many that would draw, you know. It's not
And
like
that's
the,
something, and again, you're absolutely, I would say keep these thoughts in your head as you talk, as you think about it. Um, because, I think soon we're going to have to decide what's the agenda, what's our calendar
yeah, we gotta move on that, I think.
soon. But what we've got going right now at least gives us some a way to get out there and do a little PR, and at least that gets us started. And then we can, as we talk in the next couple of week meetings, we can talk a little bit more about what it looks like and timeline.
Well, I think we ought to get to the next meeting because otherwise we really don't have a whole lot to talk about with these press releases and follow-ups and future conversations and dialogues because that's going to be the first question. So what's it look like?
Right. And that right now, the next meeting is really going to be all the homework we just talked about. Everything for the fall season before November, all the tables and farmers markets and all the other places, festivals we want to be part of. That really is going to be the first thing we're going to have to do. And then as we do that, we're going to have to talk about what our big plans are. As we wish.
Yeah.
Nicole, so with your homework of asking the selectmen of, of doing these farmers markets and St. Jude's and whatever, would it still be like if he says, yeah, great idea, go ahead, but we might not have all this information for the next meeting, can we still, just say, hey, this is something we're thinking about, would you be open to it, and we can get you more, exact information?
I think the minute I talk to the first selectman, I think that'll be a quick answer from him.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to call you back and say, okay, yeah, this is what he said. Yes, it's yes, and then see what the church actually says that we can or can't do.
Yeah, because they might just come out and be like, no, not happening, before even giving them more information. So that's what I just want to.
And I think it's kind of like it's a chicken or the egg. Hey, we thought about this idea. Is this something that interests you, first selectman, or would you rather just do it at one of the greens?
And when's the farmers market close? When's the date you have for the farmers market?
We are October 3rd. It's the last day of farmers market, and it's also their, I think it's their breast cancer awareness last market.
Oh,
Is the
Think
theme
Pink.
or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Pickle Fest is this Friday.
Mm-hmm. Nicole,
Yeah.
this is kind of maybe a wild thought, but if in the end we find we don't have a need to raise a lot of funds because maybe our activities are more like reaching into the schools and having some sort of a contest SCE for them or activity. We're not throwing the big firework display or something like that, or a big fun day or whatever. If our expenses are very minimal, would the town could the town not kick in like maybe just a couple of thousand for this?
I
If
can
we
ask that too.
if we put in, if we say, look, we've evaluated this and determined that we're not having anything that's going to be very costly. And if we do, we could take and just get maybe a couple of corporate sponsors and all. So if it turns out that it's a very minimal expend, can the town kick in, I don't know, no more than $5,000?
I don't know. That's a good question to ask. And I can ask, but they're going to say, well, what are you doing? So
No, I'm putting it
Yeah.
on the now for that. If that's something that could be done, once we take and spend this next week thinking about what the events we do want to do, and put that out there, and maybe before we go to these different, like St. Jude's, et cetera, and ask them for a place and all that. Because if we don't need it, then you're gonna have to go back and say, oh, gee, thanks, but no.
Well,
Let's
well,
bring it back
I
toward-
think we need it because I think we need to get out there and
communicate.
communicate. We
Oh,
have
well,
to
I'm sorry, you're right. The St. Jude's thing is a different form, yeah. But some
all
of
of
the
that,
other
yeah.
things, yeah, maybe not. That's why, because I'm just kind of, I remember I did read some of those, the timeline, and I'm looking at those events and going, we're not, it didn't seem like it's going to cost a lot to do those things because we're reaching into it for more the historical, the purposeful value of this celebration than just to have a big, all these big parties or festivities and parades and whatnot.
And what you may to be doing is a lot of print setup and printing
Right,
and
and that would correct. It
programming.
may just be, yep, and it may just be that it's a minimal
Okay.
cost.
Well, you got all colored copies for even just distributing the information about what CT 250 is all about. I mean,
Right.
you need thousands of those.
Right, but I'm thinking that you're not making a big expense of like these fireworks for $10,000 or to
Oh,
have
no,
a
that's
parade,
true.
which costs you God knows how much when you add in, the cost of having the police and all that, right? That
Right.
if we might be able to just live on if they kicked in like a couple of $1,000s for us and we get a handful of good corporate sponsors, right?
And that's a
That could
goal
be
too.
areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, think that thought, and for the next time, as you said, let's think of what our events we want, and and maybe it's going to come out put that forth and look at next meeting and say these are events, and well, maybe we don't have to go. We could just say to the first selectman, give us like maybe $5,000 or so. And some people may do some things gratis or significantly reduced rate for us because it's coming for the schools or from us. So. It's a lot to spend to raise funds if you have to do it yourself for a lot of money. Hard
I'm
to
just
say.
curious because I didn't go to these other events. Like I know the Memorial Day parade does attract people, but like did the bicentennial or the fireworks things or whatever other events they had planned? Because I feel like this is kind of similar. I don't know
Yes.
what their attendance was for any of that.
So I was there. I was working the day of the family day, and it was well attended. But it wasn't the entire park because it was family day. So what you knock out about half the town or so because they're not interested in that. It was slides, etc., and there was some music and then some food.
Well, that's what I'm just wondering if people are going to be interested in things because I know even with trying to do things for the Historical Society, nobody wants to come out and listen to anything.
Exactly.
I like Kevin's Facebook page. That's it.
Right. Exactly.
That's
And
why
that's
I'm
why
just wondering, like balls and this and that, like, is it going to be worth, everybody's time of putting all this effort in to have, nobody show up for one
exactly.
event?
Yeah, and that's why I was putting it out there. I wasn't going to say it that way to make it sound like it's such a bad thing, to the town.
I'm
But
good at saying
I
things
did. I've
that way.
lived it, and I've seen the amount of what you got for the effort, and I'm like, how much swag did they walk away with that they didn't sell, right? And how many people really attended on that day? I mean, the fireworks were well attended, obviously, but it was the community, the celebration part that was more visible and go out. It wasn't so, it was well attended, but it was not the big attendance. And we're looking at, especially the 4th of July weekend, which is a Saturday next year. How many are you going to get? So that's why I'm thinking maybe our events are more not costly and we do more quality internally with the schools and, historically through the library, maybe some things like, Facebook with an electronic history trail and all, that might be the better way to go. And it might not cost us much.
And on that note, I'm going to say yes. Does anyone else have any comments? I don't want to keep you guys too much longer.
No, I have no further comments.
That's it.
Okay. Our next meeting is August 7th. I'm here. Anybody else anybody on vacation in Zoom land? But you're on vacation the 20th, right? The week of the 20th, Aaron? Are you on vacation the 7th?
Yeah, 7th. I'm gone that
You're
whole
on the
week.
7th?
I will be gone the 2nd through the 9th with no internet. It is one of the greatest things on earth. No cell phones, no computers.
And then are you also on vacation the 20th through the 23rd?
No.
Or did I mishear that?
Misheard. It was the 7th is what I was talking about.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else on vacation?
No.
I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation the 4th, the 11th, the 12th, and that whole last week of August. Maybe.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here.
Whoop. All right. On that note, 8:16, I'm going to call the meeting closed, adjourned. Thank you, everyone. And Aaron, have a great vacation.